Hi, my name is Dominique Russo, and I am a UNLV dietetic intern. I am currently completing my community rotation, and I'm going to be talking to you about my long-term site and my experience at UNCE. UNCE stands for the University of Nevada Cooperative Extension. It is funded through federal, state, county, and grant resources. It has offices statewide with over 200 different employees and many volunteers. UNCE delivers non-degree educational programs and classes to everyone in the community. UNCE's mission statement is to discover, develop, disseminate, preserve, and use knowledge to strengthen the social, economic, and environmental well-being of people. The values of the organization include accountability and ethics, teamwork and collaboration, quality and community education, honest and open communication, responsive to the needs of the diverse society, innovative thinking, flexibility, integrity, and dedication. Key programs in the organization include the 4-H Youth Development, Healthy Steps to Freedom, which is a gender-responsive education program, Healthy Kids Early Start, Healthy Aging, Youth and Horticulture, Food Preservation, Little Books and Little Cooks, School Garden Programs, and the Fruit and Vegetable Prescription Programs through SNAP, and also many, many more. Target audiences of these programs involve various age ranges from birth to the elderly. These programs are geared towards helping people in need of assistance receive the proper education and help. Parents play a vital role in children's lives and are also part of the target audience. And the Healthy Steps to Freedom is a program geared towards helping women who are incarcerated for offenses surrounding substance abuse learn proper nutrition, exercise, and body image. So the nutrition topic or issue was in regards to the Nevada Registry's wellness component. The Nevada Registry is responsible for registering and training all early child care professionals. It is also responsible for all informal, not for college training for early childhood professionals. Training classes for early child care educators must be approved by the Nevada Registry. And the wellness component came about from the bill SB 27. Once that was passed, NRS 432A was amended and included the wellness component. The wellness component requires all early childhood educators to receive 2 hours of training per year in nutrition, obesity, and physical education. Nutrition and physical activity are key factors in obesity prevention, so it is easy to understand why all three of them are together. The training approval system was put into place and was there to help streamline the process, and this is also known as TAS. Beginning in 2020, all trainers will be required to have an associate's degree or better with 4,000 hours of experience because of TAS. The issue facing the wellness component is that there are only 2 people in the Nevada Registry responsible for choosing which classes get approved in all required areas. Therefore, these 2 people are looking for keywords in the class descriptions. So for the wellness component, they're looking for keywords like obesity, nutrition, and physical activity. If these words are present and the trainer meets the criteria, more than likely the class is going to be approved. This lack of standardization makes it difficult to determine what objectives are important for beginning, intermediate, and advanced classes for the wellness component. Evidence-based organizations have different standards for topics such as juice, sedentary time, screen time, and meal and snack patterns. The training classes could potentially be teaching different standards set by multiple organizations, whether they may be evidence-based or may not, and that can and has been proven to be problematic. Therefore, creating teaching objectives based on evidence-based recommendations from organizations such as the USDI and the 2018 Physical Activity Guidelines is essential when trying to create a standardization amongst the training classes. So for my needs assessment, the scope of the problem really focused in on childhood obesity. So the CDC reports that in the United States, obesity prevalence was 13.9% amongst 2 and 5-year-olds. Childhood obesity was also found to be more common amongst certain populations. So Hispanics and non-Hispanic Blacks were more likely to be obese. And the number of overweight or obese infants and young children aged 0 to 5 years increased from 32 million globally in 1990 to 41 million in 2016. So it's a big jump. And so without proper intervention and education, these obese children will likely become obese adults. So Nevada's rate of childhood obesity, like most of the country, is increasing at an alarming rate. And 1 in 3 children in Nevada entering kindergarten in 2016 were considered overweight, and 20% of them were considered obese. Obese children are at an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. So why the problem is significant? Like I previously mentioned, obese children will likely turn into obese adults without proper intervention. So the risk factors for diseases are increasing, and we're not seeing a drop in obesity throughout the country, especially in the state of Nevada. So in 2016, a total of 1.5 million children, including 32% of 4-year-olds and 5% of 3-year-olds, were enrolled in preschool. And 60% of children under 5 years of age are in childcare and spend an average of 29 hours per week in that setting. So this makes early childhood education and the foundation for learning the importance of balanced nutrition and becoming physically active. Nutrition and physical activity are 2 key components in obesity prevention. It is important that they are taught together within the curriculum of the wellness component to be fully beneficial. So activities that I did at NC to address the problem. Activities done at NC to address the problem. So NC recognizes the need of early childhood nutrition, education, and physical activity for obesity prevention in early childhood. They have developed handouts based off of evidence-based programs to assist teachers and parents in the areas of physical education and nutrition. NC supports a healthy living classroom. And they have a school gardening program to teach children where food comes from and how it grows. NC offers an early cooks and books program to allow parents and children to cook healthy meals together and read books. And they offer classes that are also part of the registry for early childhood educators that are evidence-based and fulfill the wellness component. All the quizzes must receive a grade of 100% in order to pass NC's classes. And so some of the projects that I participated in. So NC and UNLV Research Department partnered together and were interested in gathering the standards from as many evidence-based resources and comparing the recommendations in areas of nutrition, physical activity, and obesity. This also included screen time and sedentary behavior. The comparison that I created was 54 pages long. It came from updated manuals and government websites. From there, I organized the standards by all agreeing organizations. So if a certain standard or a certain organization felt a certain way about something like juice, and they said that it shouldn't be given to any infant under the age of 1, and multiple organizations supported it, it was reorganized that way. From there, that was 18 pages long. And I was able to, from that, create a list of objectives that were created in the areas of nutrition, physical activity, and obesity prevention. And the objectives that were created will be reviewed by NC and the UNLV Chief Research Assistant, and then presented to the Nevada Registry in November. The expected outcome of the intervention is that the Nevada Registry will use a set of objectives from the evidence-based resources provided and implement them as required in the early childhood education training. And the goal is to create a standardization amongst the training classes and make sure that the information provided to the teachers is from evidence-based resources. It is also important that the teachers understand how to translate and implement these objectives into their classrooms and to their students, ultimately increasing healthy behaviors and reducing obesity among the early childhood population. So the target audience that will be affected by this project are first the people of the Nevada Registry. standardization will hopefully take effect, making it easier for the registry to approve or not approve the classes in a way that will not affect the standardization of what is being offered. When the objectives are approved, the teachers will then be the next audience affected. The teachers will hopefully be able to learn about nutrition, physical activity, and obesity, and how these subject matters apply to early childhood. And the goal is for them to be able to act as role models to their students and be able to translate the material learned from the wellness component into their classrooms in a way that the students will be able to understand. This will eventually affect the students' learning in the teachers' classrooms. So they are the next audience, and the students will learn healthy behaviors in regards to nutrition and becoming more physically active. Ultimately, this will help reduce obesity amongst this age group in Nevada and increase healthy behaviors. The description of the program. So again, as previously stated, the project was to create a list of objectives for the trainers to use and to cover in their classes for early childhood educators. This list was compiled from the evidence-based standards surrounding nutrition, obesity, screen time, sedentary time, and physical activity. And then how it's going to be delivered to the target audience. The objectives will be delivered to the Nevada Registry, which is my main target audience, during a meeting in November with Dr. Ann Lindsay from NC and the Chief Research Assistant from UNLV. If the list is approved, they will be implemented by the registry and become a mandatory component to all training classes. The teachers will then take what they have learned and implement them into their classrooms to teach the students. And so an evaluation, if the Nevada Registry agrees to implement the objectives into the training classes, then standardization has improved and the first objective is being met. If the teachers are able to implement what they have learned from the classes into the classroom and impact the students in a positive way by increasing healthy behaviors and reducing obesity in the early childhood population, the second objective is then being met. So how would these outcomes be measured? Since they haven't happened yet, I went along and did some research and basically found that outcomes could potentially be measured through research over time in order to know if a true impact was made by creating the standardization. So weights and BMI can be looked at from before and after the standardization. And compared to see if obesity rates have decreased amongst the early childhood population in preschools in Nevada. And surveys could be given to the teachers before the standardization involving classroom activities surrounding nutrition and physical activity, and then given again after to see if any changes have been made and implemented. So the future of the intervention. So ultimately, the future steps of this intervention would be to first create the standardization among the wellness component. And then the next step would be to create standardization amongst all components of early childhood education training in Nevada. And if it is successful and standardization works, Nevada could potentially be used as a model for other states for their registries in early childhood education. I did create a media piece that was geared toward the Nevada Registry. And basically it included some facts about childhood obesity and what we could do together, or what we could do when we come together rather than working alone, and why standardization is important. And then my marketing piece was just a simple flyer, again, geared toward the Nevada Registry meeting that's taking place in November, with some contact information and just all that good stuff. So I really appreciate you taking the time to listen to me talk for this long about my community intervention project. I had a really good time at NC. I learned a lot, and I hope to go back again in the future and work with Dr. Lindsay on some more research. Thank you.